Welcome everyone to Active Citizenship in eTwinning. This is the sixth online seminar that we are having this year. These are some instructions, quick instructions, because we are already a bit late. So if you want to speak, please raise your hand. If not, you can participate in the chat. To speak, I need to unmute you, so please raise your hand so we can identify you. Please let us know if you are enjoying the seminar or not, and if we are going fast or slower through the emoticons and through these symbols. With no further ado, I think nobody is having problems with sound now, so I think we are okay now. With no further ado, I would like to introduce you Tine. Tine is an eTwinning ambassador, a Danish eTwinning ambassador since 2010, and she has been a teacher for many, many years and also dealt with eTwinning teacher training in ICT courses. Mostly she teaches languages, and her love for eTwinning relates to the importance that it has to her pupils and teachers and herself, and because it also challenges our cultural understanding and also our teaching. Today we will listen to her experience and to the project that she has developed under Active Citizenship. And I will give now the floor to Tine, and I hope you enjoy.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello everybody, I'm so sorry for the delay, but I'm also so excited. It's my very first webinar, so it's a great experience. And I thank you so much for joining my webinar. And I will share some experience from a comenius project we had at school 2 years ago. We started, and it was called The Culture of Peace and Citizenship in Europe. It was a school project where all classes participated in some way. This webinar will take you through 4 steps. I will tell you a bit about cultural awareness, how we work with it, and a little bit why we chose to work with peace and citizenship, and how we work with human rights and local history. And all my slides and things can be found at my website. You can find it here, and also this presentation, my PowerPoint, is also here, and the things I'm going to show you, you can find all of it here. This is the address of the website. I've been an eTwinning ambassador for 5 years, and I teach mainly English, German, Danish, and art, and also subjects that nobody else is going to take, so sometimes I have some other subjects. Keywords for me is creativity, language skills, ICT involvement, caring, hard work, and fun. And I am a language teacher, and ICT has always made great fun for me. A week ago, I went to see my old father-in-law, and he lives in Sweden, deep in the woods there. And I told him I'm going to Brussels because there is an eTwinning celebration, 10 years, and I'm going to tell about what we did in a school project with other schools. And then he said, well, that's how you work for peace. And I thought, he's clever. I never thought about it in that way. I always thought about it in the way of learning languages. But of course, getting people to work together is the main thing to do when you want to work for peace. Why was I going to Brussels? When we finished our project, I thought it was so good. So I made a little brochure of it, and I sent it to the European Schoolnet and asked, would you like to have it on your website? It's some of our experiences, and it is also on my web page. You can find my website. You can find it here, and it says how we dealt with the project and what things we did with the children, and also we made some easy tasks to start with. I sent it and I hope they would accept it. And then they wrote me back, could you please come and give a workshop at the conference? And I said, yes, that would be really a great pleasure. So this webinar is in fact showing many of the things I also showed at the conference. I went to the conference and I'll tell you a little bit about my school and background and children's rights, local history. And in the end, the project was going to produce a curriculum for peace. And we were very excited, how was this going to happen? I have put some tasks in this webinar, and I don't know if we can get around to it, but I would like us to share some meanings of how can we work with stereotypes at school, and how can we promote peace studies at school, because now we're really in a time where peace is on the top list of what we're going to do at school because of all the migration and refugees coming to Europe. And that was also peace and understanding was really also the top subject at the conference. Yes, this is my school and it is here in Denmark, and we work with the school in Ireland, in Italy, Turkey, and in Finland. And it was the Italian school which had made up the project and asked us if we would join.
Tina?
Yes?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but somebody is asking how old are your students? What's their age?
Yes, okay. My students are the age from 5 till 15. So it's both primary and secondary school.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And all classes participated, but not all classes were involved as much as others. For example, the young classes, the smaller ones, they were doing the cultural thing and the human rights thing, and not the history thing. That was from the, I think, 10, 11 years old, and all the deeper reading into English literature, that was the oldest pupils. But that was different from the different schools, how they participated. We started with cultural awareness, and this is from the Italian school, and with the youngest kids, it was a lot about friendship and welcoming each other, because only teachers were going to each school and be welcomed there, but it was always the pupils doing the things for the welcoming. And we did other things also to understand each other. Some classes were pen pals, and we exchanged greetings. Here it's Easter, and we had some Skype meetings. And in the beginning, I thought that Skype meetings were just nonsense, because we didn't achieve anything in Skype meetings. But it turned out the pupils were very happy about the Skype meetings. They felt noticed and they felt appreciated. So I changed my mind. I think Skype meetings are very good to just to look at each other and say hello. We had a meeting at each school, and we used TwinSpace to share all our products, and whenever the other teachers were visiting a school, there was made a big school show, and the school was decorated to welcome everybody. This is, for example, how we welcomed when the teachers from Ireland, Turkey, Italy, and Finland went to our school. All children, all classes did work on the other countries and put it up so they could see it. And they really decorated the school. We have an assembly hall here where we can also play theater, and it was made a welcoming here with the bad things and the good things for peace, the bad things from war and pollution and everything. and a tree for everybody to put up their name. And these paintings you can see on the wall, they are from the children's rights, where pupils drew some of the articles and made them into paintings. And also we introduced our area. My class is the 6B, and we did a lot of work, and therefore I know a lot about what they were doing. For example, these did a lot of work about the history, and this, the oldest one, did a lot of work about finding literature and translating the human rights into English. And then every class did a 4-day preparation for the school, for the welcoming, for the big show, as we called it. And this is in the assembly hall, and every class is they are putting on the show. These are some of the things going on in the big show. We had a 2-hour show. So you can go into the video if you want to, but you can find it in my PowerPoint. I'm not going into it now. And our visitors, this is the Irish headmaster, and all the others at the bottom here. We went to the town hall, and we were welcomed by the mayor in the nearest biggest city. And I think it's something we have learned from the South, because when we go visiting countries in the South, they always do these things. They're so formal, and we feel so welcome. We wouldn't normally do it in Denmark, but after Comenius projects, we will always do it, because it really signals that you are our special guests. So they went to the town hall, and he also gave this speech. And if you want to hear it, you can also find the link to the speech in my PowerPoint. But it's quite long, and he's not very good at English. But some of the text is here, and again, he's talking for a peaceful world, and it comes with understanding and working together. When the other teachers visited our school, suddenly there were 4 Turkish pupils as well. And I said, yes, that's great. It wasn't really part of the project, but they came here. They could be in my class, and I asked my parents if they could stay privately, and they were so welcome, and they stayed privately. They didn't talk very much English, but the children didn't care. They joined school, and they played together, and they had fun together, and they were so happy they were here. They are here with their 4 teachers also. That was really the best experience I could have hoped for my pupils. When they came, we had a welcome dinner. The parents in my class made the dinner for the guests, and we had a big show, and we had, we went around the area with the children and the Turkish children. And the last night we had dinner at it is a fishing boat turned upside down, made into a restaurant. When they were leaving, my headmaster, you can see him here, he said to all of us, "Seldom have I been so happy about and proud of being a headmaster. We and very much the pupils have been praised by our foreign guests. Behavior, English language, decoration of school, and the fantastic show." And you know, these are not words we are used to hear. They don't always behave very good, and they don't always do a fantastic show. So we were so happy, and we were very, very proud. In Brussels, I made a little task because we think we know so many things about each other, and often we don't know very much, and we have some stereotypes. And I asked them, what did you know about Denmark? And here are some of the answers. First, some of them wrote, "You have mooses in Denmark," and I was very happy about that one. It isn't true, they're coming from Sweden, but these are very innocent questions. What is Denmark known for? But if you go south, if you work with a school in the south of Europe, we don't know very much about them, and sometimes we know nothing at all about them. For example, we knew nothing about Turkey and nothing about war going on in Italy and things like that. So I think now, especially with all the refugees and migrants, stereotypes, working with stereotypes would be a main subject or a main thing to do in schools. Do you agree? Oh, thank you. Thank you. We work with children's rights, and that was also for all the school. We are as an Red Cross ambassador school as well. Pupils did a lot of things. They did drawings. This is from the Irish school. They did posters. You have the right to take part in peaceful meetings. That's also, it's very nice. And we put them on our walls and put the articles under. And again, when I went to Brussels, I made this little QR task for the participants in the workshop. So they had to see which article is under which photo. And if you want to do the little task, oh, that's good, a project about stereotypes. Can we come back to that later? If you want to do the little task, it's also on my webpage, my website. You can also see the right solutions on the website. Are you on my website now? Because I have a little task there.
Tine, can you copy and paste the URL for your website? Because I don't have it, and we would like to have it in the chat box.
Yes, it's
okay.
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 Yes.
So let's move on.
You can see here there is a webinar task. If you go to the first one, and how can we work with stereotypes? I would like some suggestions from you, if you don't mind. You just double click like this, and then you can write, and we can share it, all of us. I thought it might be easier to share on a wall like this than to go through all the chat.
Of course.
Because you can have them all afterwards. You can find them, all of you. How do you make the role plays? Maybe you could move your inputs a little, because now they are... Yes, thank you. Yes, I think you're so right. Facing the stereotypes make us aware of our... but yes, but often you don't really know they are stereotypes, do you? Yes, that's great. I think I have planned all my day for tomorrow now. Do you come from areas where there are many different citizens? Because in my area, we are almost Danes, all of us, and also local.
Tine, maybe we can just take one or two examples and then move forward. Yeah. I believe I think it's useful for you, Tine, and for all participants if they keep after the seminar, if they keep adding suggestions in the Padlet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go and have a look at it after or you can finish it after. Would that be okay? Yeah. Okay. I'll go on. I'll go to the. Oh, this was really for me the very big experience. I was teaching history at that time, and I'm not very good at history, and I'm not a history teacher. But we agreed in the project that we were going to find out what happened during the last war in our countries, and then we were going to find older citizens who could tell about the war. And the pupils had to make questionnaires for the older ones. This is from the Turkey school. So we brought elder people into school, and we had questionnaires for them. So we had a lot to ask them. This is from my class, and we had these two elder people here, and they kept asking and asking and asking. And I thought, after half an hour, I thought, well, now they're soon bored. I think they kept asking questions for 2 hours, and they couldn't have enough. They couldn't just stop it again, because they were local. All the kids were local as well. The older people knew many of the parents, and suddenly they were almost in family, all of them. So it was a very, very good experience. And I found out that the pupils, even though we live in an area which was a checkpoint during the Second World War for boats and ships, and we had really a lot of bunkers where the pupils used to play. They didn't know very much about the war. They knew, of course, that the bunkers were made by the Germans, but I think that was it. We also found out that 5 countries, it was not the same war, which was the last one, which meant most to the people. Of course, the Second World War, when we didn't have many people killed in our area. We had some, but in Italy it was really a very, very bombed area. And in Northern Ireland it was quite another conflict going on that killed their locals. So in Finland it was the Winter War. So that was also something telling me we are not always thinking about the same war. We did a newspaper where the pupils wrote articles, and nearly all, I don't know, but in Denmark, nearly all bigger newspapers have a school section where they have online tools, so you can use them for free. And afterwards, I think they printed 500 free newspapers for us. So the pupils gave them to all the people they have told about, all their parents, all their grandparents, and we have a local museum, and they also wanted the newspaper there for the tourists. You can see here some pictures from the coastline. And also we found out really that in fact we had a local spy. We didn't know that, but he was he was making pictures for building the bunkers, and they wanted the bunkers to look like houses, and therefore they put a normal roof on the top of the bunker so you couldn't see them from the air. And they had a Dane helping them design the bunkers, and during the night he copied them and sent all the drawings to the Allies, to England, and they were very proud they had a local spy. It was only discovered, I think, 30 years after that he was from this area. He always put a little tortoise under his drawings, so no name, nobody knew who he was. And they made these paintings also. We worked with the local museum and the local history archive, and they had a lot of old photos digitalized, so they said you can have it at your school. And at the museum we also found a movie made by a local TV station telling about the area and the war. And when we watched it, the children saw that it was the same persons which they had interviewed on the film, so they said, we know them. Oh, yes. And the questionnaires they made, and the answers, and the articles, and some of the old photos here. So this was really great. I didn't know much about local history. I knew as much as the pupils afterwards, even more, and it was really, really great. And the parents were also very occupied. No, not occupied. They asked always their pupils, what new have you learned? And the pupils told at home what they had learned at school. And that's not so usual. We searched for literature about peace, and we found out that really many texts in literature are dealing with peace and friendship, but especially The Boy in the Striped Pajamas was known by all the countries and used, and it was said that it's a very, very good film towards children's friendship. And our conclusion was that if you want to work for peace, it is a good idea to emphasize on war, because when pupils find out how things were during the war, then it's easier to understand what it is to have peace, because they have always only known peace in Denmark, for example. I haven't said much about Europe, why the EU was chosen for a Nobel Prize, because that was just internet search, but that was what put all the projects ahead, because when the EU was chosen, this Italian headmaster said, well, it's now we're going to do a project. So that was what caused the project, really. Yes, human rights are essential. But it's, I just read some of the comments. Very good, yes, yes. We decided at our school to work with human rights every year with all the school, and I know we'll soon have a Human Rights Day, so it's dedicated for this. And also, I want to emphasize that please go and find these old citizens. They're very rare. It's so difficult to find people who have experienced war now. They are dying. They are so old, and I think that's some of the best things you can do for pupils, if you can bring them into your classroom, and they are able to speak about what was life before. I know you could do it about many other things as well, but especially about the war that many people can remember anymore. I think we are all in some ways affected by war. And I know some of the eastern and southern countries are really experiencing it right now. So that's why also this project means a lot for me, because it's not just something in the past. It's still going on, and I really wanted us to do the last exercise. How do you suggest facing this challenge at school with all the migrants and refugees? How do you suggest we can do it at school? How can we promote peace studies? Because sometimes the pupils and the parents think it's just enough, and we must never give up. Would you like to do the test? It's also, it's task number, no, it's not a test, it's task number 2. It's on the website again. Yes, it's a Padlet.
Okay.
Oh!
Here.
Good.
Yes.
We discussed if we could ask some of the refugees to come to school and talk about it, what happened in their countries. But we don't really know if we can do it. Is it to step over the limits, or do you have any experiences?
So one of you, Alexandra or Christina, would you like to share your experience?
The Padlet is open after we leave this session, so you're very welcome to write things there, and everybody can go in there and read them. Well, I haven't really any more to tell you about our project, because it's over now, and I'm very proud we had the project, and I really hope we can have something like it again. But I could say the things that I used very much in the project of ICT tools. For example, this Padlet here, because all pupils can just double-click like you did here, if they just have a link, and you can make a Padlet for them. And it's a free program, just search for Padlet.
So I think they will participate in the Padlet, afterwards.
You can enroll or participate by going here and just make an account there. It's free. And also, I use this issuu.com very much, because whenever my pupils make something in Word or PDF files, we just upload it, and then the program itself turns it into a kind of magazine. And it looks very, very fancy, and it's very, very easy. It's also a free program, a program for free. Well, I also use MindMeister, but it does cost. So, but our school has paid for it. So Therefore, we use it a lot. Do you have any questions for me? I think it has been really, really great being here, and it's very difficult for me just to talk and also have a look at all the chat here because it's so interesting, and I'm so much looking forward to going through all of it afterwards. You say I can do that, Ruth? We can all see the chat again.
So if you have any questions, even if you don't have a microphone, you can write in the chat and Tine can answer regarding the topic of the seminar and the work that she has developed with the students. Do you have any questions? For instance, I have one, Tina, if you don't mind.
Yes, sure.
What was the hardest topic to address with the kids? Do you have...
The hardest?
Yes, you mentioned 4 topics, right? You addressed the topics of, let me see if I can remember all of them. Human rights, children's convention and children's rights, peace, war. Did any of these topics was more complicated to address, or was it all the same way?
Dealing with the youngest kids, it was most about friendship. We didn't talk very much about war, but we did it a little when we talked about children's human rights, because we thought that maybe it was too big an issue for them to well, they couldn't really understand much of it, but again, they could understand friendship. And with the 9, 10 years old, 11 years old, where we did the history project, well, we couldn't stop them. They were so interested, and they kept asking questions, and they loved it. And they learned so much history because it was really about themselves and their families.
Okay,
but,
thank you.
Getting into,
Good, very nice. Maria Luisa has one question, sorry. She asks, are you still working on school projects about peace and social inclusion, even if not with other countries? If yes, how?
Yes, I do, because it's the main subject. You have to do it every year, and this Comenius project was so big, and it really took a lot of time, and my headmaster said it has been wonderful, but now we are having a year or 2 without projects. He loved it, but we have a reform in Denmark as well, and so many new things to implement in school. But we work with peace, and also we try to work with the dilemma of all the refugees coming, because these 2 issues are very much connected.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. How long did it take, the project?
It took 2 years.
And another question, how was your experience working with TwinSpace and all the other eTwinning tools?
You know, I'm an ICT nerd, so I thought it was splendid. But I also experienced that many of our partners found it very difficult working with TwinSpace. So I helped them a lot. So, but it's not hard working with TwinSpace if you have other partners that know about it as well. And with 5 countries, there were some of us knew about it, and we helped each other. And that's also a good experience. Okay,
thank you. Well, I must say that I agree with all the comments, that the seminar was very, very interesting. It is very nice to hear personal experience, and I think you did a great job, Tina. It's a beautiful project, yes.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being there. It has been really a pleasure. Thank you so much.
So before we go, I would just like to, first of all, remind you of the next online seminar, which will be on the 5th of November, and it's called eTwinning and Teachers Practice, and it will be related to the newest, the most recent eTwinning report that studied the eTwinning impact on teachers' practice. So I think it will be very interesting as well. So if you want to attend, please apply 1 week before. And to finalize, I really would like to thank Tina for for the whole work that she she had for the conference and for this seminar. It was really, really interesting. And not only that, thank you for your work, for investing on your pupils, not only on eTwinning projects, but on subjects like active citizenship. And it is very, very, very important. So thank you, everyone. I will send you the recording link and the presentation, the Tine's website URL in a few minutes, and you will have all the information. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you for your help, Ruth.
You're welcome.